Today is a great day, and I'm excited about today's edition of Formula for Everyday podcast. Like we always meet every day, to talk about personal development topics and how you can get better on a personal level. You know, um, Consistently engaging your mind. Today is Sunday, and in spite of the fact that it's which you can consider it to be part of the weekend, or let's say beginning of a new week. Well, in most places, like my city, we consider it as part of the weekend, and it's a day for rest. So, on a day like this, on a Sunday like this, I've just been thinking about this the topic of growth, and I just decided to come here this evening, to discuss with you on the topic of growth. Yeah, thank you very much for joining me today. You could just drop your city where you are watching me from. I'm streaming live from Lagos, Nigeria. My name is Lawrence Nkwocha, and this is Formula for Everyday podcast. Like I mentioned earlier, we show up here every day, usually in the mornings and in the evenings, West African time, to just talk about personal development topics and how we can get better on a personal level. So today is one of such days. I always keep saying that we may hope to do better things tomorrow, but the best things are done today. So whatever you have the capacity to actually achieve today, it's best that you look at the resources around you and be proactive enough to start implementing your growth. You have to have the high agency of taking action to better your life to exactly what you want it to be. So today I will be talking about living by design and not just expecting life to fall into your lap by default. So living by design is how you design your growth. It's how you decide to become who you have set out to be in spite of the prevailing circumstances around you. Okay, and I have a couple of points that I want to share with you about, living by design and not just living by default. So, one of the first things that I would like to share with you is that, first of all, aging is the only thing that is automatic. Growth is not automatic. If you must grow, you must be intentional about your growth. You see, time passes whether you use it or not. It passes without your permission. But if you must grow, that's what increases your age. I don't know what age you might be now. I'll be a year older by April, but time will pass anyway. And the only thing that happens by intention is growth. So you age without your permission. Aging doesn't need your permission. You age whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not. But growth is what comes with intention. So you have to be intentional in order to be able to grow. If you want to grow your career, you want to grow your business, you want to grow your skill, whatever skill you've decided to grow, you consider your area of expertise and you really want to commit to growth. That's the only thing that is intentional. So aging is automatic. It doesn't need your permission. It doesn't need you to monitor it. But if you want to grow, then it needs to be intentional. The second thing I'll be sharing with you today is that time does not equal progress, because some people assume that because they are able to wait patiently, then they'll be able to progress automatically. It doesn't happen like that. Time doesn't equal progress. You have to be intentional about taking steps. And the funny thing about personal growth is repetition, because if you must become a master at your skill, if you must become a master at whatever it is that you choose to do, then you need to repeat it over and over again. And repetition takes time. Some studies have shown that you need about 10,000 hours in order for you to become a professional at what you do. And according to calculations, about 3.5 years. So you need a lot of time to become a master. And the only way to keep from going backward is to continue to go forward. So whatever skill you have attained now, wherever it is you are, that you are in your career, in your business, in your personal life, you need to continue going forward in order for you not to go backward. So time does not automatically equal progress. Okay, so it's whether you choose to improve your life today or not, the time will pass. And it's really interesting that we're about in, I think today is 22nd, so we are in like the 23rd day of the year. This is February 22nd, so we're in the 23rd, and we're in the 53rd day of the year. So 53 days have passed, and this is what what the year has been so far. This is 2026. So if you begin to think about, okay, how much of how much of your personal agency have you deployed within within this period, to better, all those plans you set out to achieve in 2026, how much of your personal agency have you deployed in order to be able to achieve these things? So that's exactly the concept of growth. How much of growth have you been able to achieve within this time period and time frame? So that's the second thing. You see, growth is something that occurs intentionally, and time does not automatically equal to progress. So next time I'll be sharing with you is that growth begins with clarity and intention. So if you must grow, you must be very clear about your path of growth, okay? And you must be very intentional. You need to take steps. Okay, if you want to increase your income, which is the most easiest indicator of growth, you must have to look at your current skill set. You have to look at your industry and look at what will actually give you the more income, more money. What will put more money in your pocket? What are those low activities that take money out of your pocket or take clients or customers? And you have to begin to strategize on how you can actually you know get to build the skills that will give you the money that you desire. So you have to be intentional. That's the basic thing. You have to be intentional. So growth begins with clarity, and intention requires the purpose. If you know exactly why you want to grow and the direction to which you are growing, then you'll be intentional enough to start taking steps that can help you grow. So you have to ask yourself very deep questions like, who am I becoming? Who exactly am I becoming? Do I like the man that I'm becoming? Do I like the woman that I'm becoming? Do I like the father that I'm becoming? What you look at where you are now, because like I always say that we may hope to do better things tomorrow, but the best things are done today. So look at where you are today with what you have, with all the resources around you. Are you actually becoming the best of what you can be with what you have? If you really look deep into your life, you see that a lot of people are even doing good. I mean, some people are even doing better. If you actually tell yourself true, is that a lot of people can be doing better with the exact same resources that you have. So you have to ask yourself, who am I becoming? Am I proud of the kind of person I'm becoming? Okay, if you are not proud of the person you are becoming, how what will require change? Do you need to learn new skills? So what are the new skills that you're learning? Like we mentioned earlier, that money is the quickest indicator of growth. So which new skills are you learning in order to be able to earn more, or in order to be able to better improve your service delivery? Because as you continue to grow on a personal level through self-discipline, you definitely would grow in your income. So what new skills are you learning to become better? Okay, so you also have to ask yourself, what habits are you reinforcing? Because I've mentioned earlier, like I've mentioned severally on this platform, that habits are the systems you build. You see, whatever it is you are learning today, if you don't put it into your habits, you forget it. And habits can, especially destructive habits, they can become automatic, like not completing your work, not exercising, not doing what you're supposed to do. It can become automatic, because all those destructive habits, if you don't train your environment in order to be able to do the things that you are supposed to do, all those destructive habits become automatic. So what habits are you reinforcing in your life? In the next 6 months, will you be proud of everything that is coming together in your life now? I mean, when you put together your habits, the person you're becoming, the new skills you've learned, are you going to be proud of yourself? So you see, the self-examination is the evolution that comes with growth. When you can comfortably examine yourself and know that, okay, yes, with the true evaluation of everything you've done, and you say, okay, I'm really proud of the person I'm becoming, or I'm not so proud of the person I'm becoming. What can I actually do to become better? You write these things down and you begin to take steps. That's where your growth actually begins. So we look at the fourth point I'll be sharing with you here is that every new level demands a better version of you. So every new level you want to achieve demands a better version of you. Okay, so what brought you here cannot take you there. I mean, whatever future you've envisioned for yourself, the skills, the habits, the resilience, the persistence, whatever it is that brought you here cannot take you to the next level. You need to become a new person. You need to become a new individual. And how exactly can you become a new individual? It cannot come by accident. You cannot just accidentally become a new individual. You have to be intentional. You have to be intentional about your growth. You have to be intentional about the steps that you're taking to become a better person, to become a more upgraded version of yourself. Someone that other people will see and can testify to how much you've actually invested in yourself, in the way you carry yourself, in the way you speak, in the way you deliver your skills. If you're into business, what exactly are your customers saying about you? What's your intentional steps? Because I mean, even the world of business is a competition. You see, we're competing for clients. You have competitors that are selling exactly what you are selling, and even if you are not directly into business, then you are a product, because you want to get hired by a company, you want to get you want to get a client that you can deliver the job to. So how exactly are you planning in order to be able to offer remarkable service, so that people would see your work and want to even recommend you? They want to send referrals, because it's always interesting and a wonderful experience working with you. Okay, so these are some of the things you need to consider when you are talking about growth. And if you must be uh, an amazing person, if you must be that person that is achieving growth, then you must be very intentional about it. And you see, when you want to become a brand new person, it doesn't happen by accident. I posted something earlier in the morning that success is not a surprise. Okay, you cannot be surprised that you're successful, because it takes a lot of work to get there. So if you must be successful, you have to put in the work, and the work is something you do every single day. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I show up here every single day to encourage you, so that you have this you have it at the back of your mind that you need to be improving yourself every day. Even if it is in the right thoughts, you just think the right thoughts and see how you can implement it with that little step. It could be that little habit that will begin to build the system that will entirely change your life for good. Okay, so the next one we're going to be looking at, which is the last point, number 5, is comfort is what will preserve your limits, but it's intention that will extend your is that will extend your capacity. Comfort is what will it will shrink your limits. If you always choose to stay in your comfort zone, you don't want to step out to what will challenge you, because the fact remains that life is very challenging. And if you want to make out something interesting out of your life, you would be in constant internal battles. I mean, there will be that battles of, okay, what if this works, what if it doesn't work? But you have to now become a new person that is able to consistently you know face those challenges and make the most out of them. So what you need to do is to consistently put yourself in a position where you are consistently solving challenges. Because if you always escape from challenges, if you always choose to stay in your comfort zone, then it is going to place limits on how much you can grow. But if you are consistently intentionally trying to expand your limits, you find out that in spite of the fact that growth is uncomfortable, but so is staying the same. yes, the change that comes with growth is really scary. It's really scary because when you choose to push beyond your current limits, your current way of doing things, and you want to attain a higher level, there's always the fear that comes with, okay, what if this doesn't work? What if I fail? What if people laugh at me? But when you break through that in your mind, you now find out that your capacity can be expanded to a very, very high level. So this evening, basically, I just want to encourage you that you can grow to a very amazing capacity that is going to, is going to be very, very beneficial to you. Growth is something that you can take on as a responsibility, starting from today, starting from now. you know you can just simply write out one or two habits that you can promise yourself every day you're going to reinforce these habits, not just because of the person you are today, but because of the kind of person you want to be in the next 5 years, because of the kind of person you want to be in the next 10 years. So I want to greatly encourage you that, just like we always sing on this podcast, that we may hope to do better things tomorrow, but the best things are done today. So look at your life, look at the resources you have around you. What are the things that you can actually, begin to change? What are the things that you can actually begin to make, to be the best version of what you want them to be? And always remember that growth is an intentional move. Aging might be automatic. It doesn't need your permission to make you, older, but growth is what is intentional. So I remain your host, Lawrence Nkwocha. This is Formula for Everyday Podcast. Until I come your way again, very early tomorrow morning, West African time, 5 p.m. Bye for now.